A company's ability to compete is crucial to its sustainability and its ability to grow in the future. But the world of sales and its relevant best practices have evolved and changed over the years, so it's best to stay with the times. The impact of digital spaces has completely changed the way that we as consumers interact with different brands and businesses. And that has significantly changed the way that buyers interact with the products, the services, and the offers that they purchase. Digital technologies have completely impacted the way that buyers make their buying decisions. Long story short, buyers expect a lot more. Put quite simply, buyers prefer more of a consultation than a sales process. Seriously, think back to a time that you received an unsolicited email, phone call, or a message. Did you respond? Did you call them back? Did you answer that email? If you're like most people, I bet you either deleted the email, didn't call them back, or just moved on with your day. The same is true of your buyers. If buyers expect more, then that means we as sellers need to step it up a notch. And we can become more relevant to our buyers by focusing on forming and nurturing the relationships we have with our customers and our potential customers. When you invest in a more personalized and meaningful experience with your buyers, you set yourself up for better outcomes by positioning the right value and insights with your customers. So the question is, how do you develop the right sales processes and the right sales procedures that help position you as the go-to solution for your customers? How do you position yourself as more relevant to them? And most importantly, how do you build and nurture those relationships? Hey, I'm Coach Molle from Visibility Hacking Studios, and we use social marketing in so many different campaigns, and it's pretty much the essence of everything we do in the visibility hacking world. We work specifically with small brands and small businesses, but what we do is we take these big budget, big brand concepts and we bring them down, we scale them down so that these small businesses and small brands and solopreneurs and digital entrepreneurs can really harness that success. And what's fantastic is when you use social selling, you're able to do this on a very low budget. So in today's video, we're talking about social selling best practices. We're going to start out by talking about where you need to get started. And after that, we'll have a little chat about the importance of talking and listening if you want social selling success. And you're going to want to stick around because at the end of the video, we're going to have a little chat about how to lead and guide your customers to the sale. So if you want to sell more with less effort, then stay tuned. First thing you have to do if you want success in any social selling campaign is to start out by outlining your goals. Understanding what you're trying to achieve will help you focus all of your efforts to actually achieving that. It's kind of like avoiding the shiny object syndrome that can easily distract us and take us away from the actions that are important to actually taking movement, to actually moving our business or our mission or our campaign forward. We like to think of goals in 3 different areas. First, the goal of perception. How is your brand perceived by your potential customers and by your ideal audience? Second thing to think about is your engagement goals. Look at how your ideal customers are actually interacting with the content that you're putting out there. Are you actually able to gather a community? And then you can start thinking about goal number 3, which is what we call conversion. This is where we're taking our potential customers and we're asking them to commit to something. We're asking them to take an action. And that action is usually something like we want them to subscribe to our channel. We want them to sign up for our email list. We want them to take that call to action. And ultimately, when you've done this right, you can eventually ask for the sale. Which brings us to our question of the day. What are your social selling goals? Whether it's your brand overall, those big goals or your campaign-specific goals? Let us know down in the comments. Now, we were all born with 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that is the perfect reminder that in order to guide our potential customers to the sale, which we'll talk about in a little bit, we have to make sure that we are listening and talking, and we're doing this in the right proportions. So first, let's talk about listening. You have to listen to your customers. Whether they're interacting with your posts and they're giving you direct information, or you're stalking them on socials and you're checking out what kinds of comments and problems and obstacles that they're talking about on their own channels. While you're listening, I want you to pay specific attention to the language that your potential customers are using. If you're able to grab quotes and to use the words that actually came out of your potential customers' mouths, and you leverage that and you rework that into your own posts, your own messaging, then it's going to seem to your ideal customer that you actually took those words right out of their mouth, as if you're a mind reader. And that's a really cool authority technique that almost instantly grabs their attention and shows you or positions you as a go-to authority, because clearly you know so much about this topic, you're able to actually read their mind, or at least that's the perception you're giving. Now, we have 2 ears, 1 mouth, so we should be listening twice as much as we are talking, but talking is just as important. Now, of course, we can talk about the message that you're sharing, but today, I want to draw your attention to the questions that you're asking. Or maybe they're the questions you're not asking. But what I want you to do is think about what we like to call ask campaigns. This is where you're going to create a marketing campaign solely around the action of asking your people for their feedback. Say you're designing a new course. You're going to create a campaign around asking your community what they struggle with when it comes to the topic of the course you're developing. This will easily give you an outline of everything you need to talk about purely straight from the mouth of the customers who are most likely to purchase the product in the first place. You want to talk about product fit? This is the best way to pretty much custom design your products and offers for your market. So let's recap what you need to know when it comes to social selling best practices. First thing is to make sure that you're listening twice as much as you are talking. The second thing you want to do is make sure that you're listening with the right intent. Listen for the language that your customers are using so that you seem like you're reading their mind. And then finally, third point is to make sure that you are asking for direct feedback from your community. Tie all those 3 together, and man, oh man, you're going to start seeing social selling success. And while you're at it, why not hit the subscribe button and join us here on the Visibility Hacking channel? We would love to see more of you. Now, in the world of digital marketing, we talk constantly about creating that customer journey, that yellow brick road, that path for your customers to take from getting them from where they are right now, maybe they're stuck in their problem, to knowing that you are the go-to solution, to finally taking that final step and purchasing your products or services and becoming loyal members of your community. We can talk about customer journeys for hours, but today I want to give you quick action steps. So what is one thing that you can do to guide your customer from where they are to where you want them to be? Easy. But first, we have to understand some of the things that complicate this process. There are so many fantastic digital marketers out there whose entire career is spent focusing on the customer's journey. But that can be a little bit daunting, and that's not the best way to bootstrap your way to success, is it? So the problem is, the reason why people have to focus on creating their customer journey so detailed is because every customer is different. Every customer is going to have their own questions, their own worries, their own obstacles, and they're going to come to the decision to purchase your product in their own time. The problem with most marketing materials is that it sets a defined timeline. It pushes your potential customer into having to fit this mold, which I know in my own experience feels really icky. It can push a lot of customers away. Yes, okay, it can be super effective at motivating people, having that scarcity and that urgency, but for a lot of customers, it's not the best way to get them to know you, like you, and trust you in their own time. But don't worry, I got a solution for you, because I have found the best way to nurture the customers in their own time. And that's with a live show. Because when you have the ability to show up consistently, to share your brand message with the world, well, your customers have the ability to listen. They can tune in when they're ready. They can tune in synchronously when you're live or asynchronously after you're live. And then they can arrive at that decision to purchase your product in their own time. They can binge watch your content. They can watch you repeatedly every week, but they have set their own timelines. So harness that. Start your own live show. If you got questions about how to do that or how to do that most efficiently, then of course, drop your comments, your questions down below. Join us over in the Visibility Hackers Facebook group. Join us for Friday Night Live. Join us for the live show. Join us for the showcase. I could tell you all about the great shows that we have, but bottom line is, no matter what your brand sells, no matter what you do, whether you sell products or info products or physical products or a service or a consulting service, whatever it is that you do, I bet there's a live show design that will work for you. So start today. Just pull up your phone, go live on whatever platform the majority of your audience is, introduce yourself, talk about why you are passionate about your brand and why your customers should be passionate as well. You can show the product itself. You can talk about case studies. You can do a demonstration. You can highlight troubles that other products are giving your clients and showcase how your product, solution, or offer overcomes those obstacles. There are so many different things you can talk about on your live show, but I want you to get started, and I want you to take that action today. So go out and do that. Subscribe to the channel here, and I will see you for our very next video. Until I see you again, my friends, remember, I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live. Your people are out there, and they're waiting for you.